lesson we'll work on our upper intermediate course, and here Unit 3, Invest. 3.1, Invest in your future. Our goals here are talk about the future, talk about learning, skills, and thinking, and knowledge. Grammar, talking about the future. Exercise 1, work in small groups. How do you think the world of work will change in the next 10 to 20 years? Think of at least 3 ways. Pause video, answer this question in a written form. And now let's look at the possible answers. Well, I think that we're gonna work online more. We're gonna see the trend away from offline offices to online communities, to online group work. And we're gonna see the shrinking size of companies. Probably we will not have many big, huge companies that employ tens of hundreds of thousands of people, but there will be more of small teams competing with each other, like teams of 10, 20, 15 plus people, of small people competing with each other on a job market or in business. And the third trend probably is going to be the well, how do we say this? Contract-based work, meaning that people are not going to be tied to one company for their lifetime. They're going to have one contract with the company. If they like, they can extend it, and they just gonna roll around and do their work at their whim, choosing a company, choosing a project that they want to work on. Exercise 1B. Look at the introduction to a podcast discussion. Do you agree with what it says? And here, let's look at the possible answers. Jobs of the future. As the way we live changes, so will the way we work. Many jobs we take for granted will disappear, and most of today's students will end up in jobs that haven't been invented yet. I definitely agree with this point, and I can see whether this point is happening because we cannot predict the future, and our institutions, educational institutions, will always be behind, and they will not be able to predict the demand of the future. For example, let's just take the farmers and service workers as an example. Well, we need less. We have less and less need for farmers and service workers because most of the things are automatized and are done by robots and our gadgets. Exercise 2A. Can you guess what the future jobs pictured in exercise 1B might involve? Discuss with a partner. And now, if you have any sense look at the answers, well, nostalgist is in person. He's an interior designer who specializes in recreating a particular time in the past. And rewilder is someone who undoes environmental damage to the countryside by replanting, reintroducing native species of animals, and so on. Garbage designer is someone who designs products using things we currently throw away. An auto transport analyst is someone who is responsible for managing the automatic transport system, making sure it's running smoothly and efficiently.
Audio 3.1.
Hello, and welcome to Future Perfect. With us in the studio today, we have careers consultant John Moody. John, how do you think our working lives and careers will change in the future?
Well, life is changing pretty fast, and the world of work will naturally change with it. For example, in many countries in the world, populations are aging. This means there will probably be more jobs in the healthcare sector. But it also means there will be a smaller workforce overall.
And what impact will that have?
Well, for one thing, we are likely to have more and more automation. For example, trains and buses probably won't have drivers and conductors anymore. Instead, we'll have self-driving vehicles and a handful of humans acting as auto transport analysts. That means someone who is responsible for managing the automatic transport system, making sure it's running smoothly and efficiently.
So IT skills will be important.
Certainly. But I don't think we'll see them as specific skills in the future. Pretty much everyone will have these skills, just like they can read and write nowadays. Another factor that will lead to the creation of new jobs is the environment, both dealing with the effects of climate change and preventing further damage. For example, you might become a garbage designer, someone who designs products using stuff we currently throw away. Or you could be a rewilder, someone who undoes environmental damage to the countryside by replanting, reintroducing native species of animals and so on. There will still be traditional jobs, of course, but there are likely to be a lot of jobs you've never even thought of.
Well, we've also got two students here today, Ben Cummins and Lucy Carmichael. Ben, you've recently gone back to studying, haven't you? Can you see yourself doing any of these jobs in the future?
When I was a kid, I always wanted to be a train driver. After hearing that, I think I'll be an auto transport analyst. No, seriously, I'm not sure that any of those jobs would be for me, but I completely agree that IT skills are going to be vital. My IT skills aren't bad, but I'm nearly 30, and I'm very well aware that younger generations are going to be much more proficient. So I'm taking a course in app design at the University of Westminster. It starts next week, and I'm really excited. Lots of people can use social media, but not many people know how to program.
That's great. Things are moving so fast these days that it's important to keep your qualifications up to date. What about you, Lucy?
Actually, I'm studying design, so I might quite fancy being a garbage designer. I'm certainly going to work in design in some way.
How about being a nostalgist? Another big trend is customization, providing goods and services specifically tailored to what individuals want. Nostalgists will be interior designers who specialize in recreating a particular time in the past. This will be particularly attractive to older people, who often like to relive happy memories and might like their house to be decorated in the style of the 1960s or 1970s, for example.
That sounds fascinating. I'd love to research the past for people.
Well, let me know if you do decide to become a nostalgist.
Yeah, I will do.
Exercise 2. C. Would you be interested in doing any of these jobs? Why? Why not? And here, answer the questions in the written form, pausing the video. And now let's look at the possible answers. Well, I will be really interested in the last one, auto transport analyst, and the others are not appealing to me because I'm not interested in being nostalgist or replanting, working for environment, or garbage designers. They seem to be boring jobs for me. In my opinion, I'm not sure about it. Maybe other people it may be appealing for other people, but it's not for me. Auto transport analyst is the reason why I like this job more than others is because it's involved in data analytics, which is really interesting to me, and which is appealing to me. And I'm really fascinated by how they work and how they manage complex systems. Exercise 3A. Listen to the last section of the podcast and exercise 2A again and complete the extract with the correct future form of the verbs in brackets. And now, if you have answered, let's look at the answers. 1. I always wanted to be a train driver. After hearing that, I think I will be an auto transport analyst. 2. Young generations are going to be much more proficient. 3. I'm taking a course in app design. 4. It starts next week. 5. I'm certainly going to work in design. 6. Nostalgists will be interior. 7. Well, let me know if you do decide to become a nostalgic. I will do. Exercise 4. Match completed extracts 1 to 8. In exercise 3, choose explanations A to G in the grammar focus box. Grammar focus. Future forms will, going to, present simple, and present continuous. There are several ways to talk about the future. 1. Will and going to. We use will, A, when we want to make a prediction based on what we know. It is 6. B, when we make a spontaneous decision. It is 1. C, when we agree, promise, plan, or refuse to do something, as well as when we make requests. It is 7. And here let's look at the examples. A, tomorrow it will rain. B, okay, I will try to finish this exercise. 3, I will go with you to the theater. I will not be late, I promise. Or request, will you come with me? And we use going to. D, when we talk about plans, intentions we already have. And here it is 5, sentence 5. And E, when there is some evidence in the present to support the prediction. It is 2. And here our examples are, I have tickets to London. We're going to fly tomorrow, for example. And evidence in presence that support the prediction. And here, look at the clouds. It's very dark and it's going to rain. And here we use present forms to talk about the future. And here we use the present simple to talk about a scheduled or timetabled event. And here it is 4. Plane takes off at 7 a.m. the next Monday, for example. And here we use the present continuous to talk about arrangements and fixed plans, especially when we give the time or date or place. It is 3. We are meeting the doctor tomorrow at 7 p.m., for example. Exercise 5A. Choose the correct option to complete each sentence. Sometimes both answers are possible. And now, if you have finished, let's look at the answers. I'm going to start a new online course in a few weeks. So here, the first indicates an arrangement, the second, a plan or intention. So both are potentially correct. 2, I'm going to study web design, but I'm not sure where yet. And here, the answer is a plan or intention. 3, however much things change, we are always going to need, or we will always need teachers. And here, 1, like fixed plan and prediction. That's why both of them are correct here. And 4, jobs of the future will need technological skills. And here it is future prediction. 5, the course is going to start or starts next week. And here, the first one is plan, intention, or starts here, timetabled, future. 6, I hope I have passed my course. I'm getting my results tomorrow morning. And here, timetable, future, or fixed plan. 7, apparently a successful app designer can earn thousands a day. I think I will change my career. And here it is spontaneous decision. And 8, I think my job will change in the future. It is prediction. Exercise 5B. Discuss the reason for your choice in exercise 5A with a partner in both forms. If both forms are possible, explain why the difference in meaning. Exercise 6A. Listen to Bella talking about her career plans. Write down any phrases you hear which use future forms.
Audio 3.3.
I'm in my 3rd year at university, which means that I graduate this summer, assuming I pass the course. There's a lot of unemployment at the moment, so it's probably going to be quite hard to get a good job straight away. I'm going to work in my parents' shop over the summer and get some money together, And then, in September, I'm planning on visiting a friend in Vancouver, Canada. It will be lovely to see her again, and who knows, I might find a job there too.
And now, if you have finished, let's look at the answers. I graduate this summer, scheduled event. There's a lot of unemployment at the moment, so it's probably going to be quite hard to get a good job straight away. It's prediction based on present evidence. I'm going to work in my parents' shop over the summer. It's plan or intention. In September, I'm planning on visiting a friend in Vancouver, Canada. Future personal arrangements or fixed plans. It will be lovely to see her again. Prediction based on what we know now. Exercise 6b. Compare your notes with a partner. Listen again if necessary. Explain why she used each form. Pronunciation. Pronouncing the letter L. 7a. Listen to the following two words being pronounced. Do you notice a difference in the way the letter L is pronounced in each word? And here, and first one is light, and second one is will.
Audio 3.4.
Light.
Will.
And now let's look at the answer. Well, in the word light, the light is pronounced with light L at the front of the mouth. But will is pronounced with more of an ol sound at the back of the mouth. Exercise 7b. Work with a partner. Read the words aloud and divide them into two groups depending on the sound of the letter L. And now let's look at the answers. Here the answers are light L with at the front of the mouth is life, slow, lost, and will sound it is at the back of the mouth final, will, help, color, told, and spell. Exercise 7c. Listen and check your answers one more time and then listen again and repeat to improve your level of pronunciation.
Audio 3.5.
Life. Slow. Lost. Final. Wheel. Help. Caller. Told. Spell.
Exercise 8. Work with a partner. How would you conduct these sentences in spoken English? Practice saying them using the second pronunciation of the letter L. And here sentences are I'll help you. 2. What will happen next? 3. You will be great at the job. 4. She will start her course soon. 5. Where will you go? And 6. We will work harder. And now, if you have finished, let's look at the contracted structures of the sentences. I'll help you. What'll happen next? You'll be great at the job. She'll start her course soon. Where'll you go? 6 is we'll work hard. Exercise 9. Discuss with a partner. What do you think will happen to the following traditional jobs? Which ones will change the most? How do you think they will change? 1. Construction worker. 2. Teacher. 3. Lawyer. 4. Farmer. Pause the video, answer the questions in a written form. And now let's look at the possible answers. Well, I think construction workers are not going away because we need buildings and we don't have technology yet that can create this precision of human workers. Maybe in the future we'll have some kind of 3D printer robots that will replace humans completely, but it's like far off into the future of maybe 50 years, 60 years. Teachers, well, they will never be going away because we need human touch, human connection, and learning process takes place and is most effective when there's a person at both ends and there's interaction between people and robots. I don't know, they will not be able to replace teachers completely. They may be substitution for teachers, and there will be some kind of hybrid system of learning. Lawyers, they're definitely going to go away because lawyers are, who are the lawyers? They're just files of brain, just filled with files of information, and just computers can just instantly replace lawyers in terms of their job, because their job is read something and spit out the result of something, well, as a result of reading this or according to things that have been read. Farmers are probably going to go away because we will have our technology, our robots that will be taking care of agricultural sphere. Well, probably farmers will not go away completely. There will be some kind of controller farmers who will be taking care of this agricultural process and monitoring the robots' movement. Vocabulary. Talking about learning, thinking, and knowledge. Exercise 10A. Which, if any, of the opinions 1 to 3 do you agree with? Discuss with your partner. And now, if you have any, let's look at the possible answers. I completely agree with the first point because, well, university education is mostly scam. You cannot learn anything. It's just created as a business, and it's created as substitute for, well, more covered a version of brainwashing, because you don't learn stuff at university. You just learn some kind of ideologies, like being really loyal to your government, being really loyal to your country, being a good person. It's just all socialization. Like, you can learn anything you want on the internet and on the job, actually, because uh, my university education didn't help me at all. Like, I had some things, some books that I've read, it was useful, but I could read these books like without university. And mostly universities are here now as a well, means of brainwashing, and probably helps where just like-minded people can just come around. But we don't need university for it. We don't need to pay thousands of dollars to universities to do this, because we can create like communities on the internet, like online communities. I completely agree with the second one too, because flexibility is like key. Because if you're making like plans, and if they are not inconsistent with future, you just have to change it. And if you cannot change it, you will not be able to adapt quickly and improve upon your own experience, because now the world is changing really fast, and we have to change as fast as we can to keep up with the changes that are happening. Because before, people used to work in one company for 50, 60 years, but now like people are working in one sphere, not one job, like one company, in one sphere for 5, 6 years, and they're just have to reinvent themselves and learn new skills constantly. Exercise 10B. Replace underlined phrases in the article 10A with the less formal idioms from the boxes with a similar meaning, making any necessary changes. And now, if you have faced, let's look at the answers. Plenty of successful business people drop out before they qualify. It's probably more important to get practical work experience anyway. You can pick up a lot of stuff on the job. So long as you know your stuff, employers won't care if you have a piece of paper to prove it. 2. Flexibility is very important. You need to think ahead about what experience or qualifications may need in the future, and make the most of any opportunities you get to learn something new. It's very easy to lose touch with changes in your area of work, but if you want to get on, you can't let that happen. 3. Getting a range of experience is all very important, but employers also need to see that you can stick at it even when it's difficult. If you're not enjoying a job, do your best to find something you do like about it. Don't give up until you're really sure it isn't for you. Exercise 11. Choose 3 idioms in exercise 10A and tell your partner about a time when you did those things. What did you learn from the experience that will help you in your future life? Pause the video, answer this question in a written form. And now let's look at the possible answers. Well, I'm doing my best creating this project with our colleagues, of course, with Muhammad John and Aziz. And I think I have an intuition it's going to be really good success for us in the long run. And I'm doing my best here. And I don't give up. Well, the last time when I gave up was trading. It was like 3 years ago. I just got into forex trading, and it just was not for me. Like, I just didn't want to sit in front of a computer. I just wanted to communicate with people. That's why I just gave up this profession, gave it up because it was not for me, not for my character level. Exercise 12. In what ways are you investing in your future? Turn to page 127 and complete the sentences. That's the end of our today's lesson. See you in the next lessons.